Okay, everyone, so I've moved to a different space. We actually have a lot more light now. And what I'm going to do is, so as you can see, we've mixed in the blue into drawing. See, now we have a dark blue right here. So as you can see, they're in the sky, so it's going to be clouds all around. And that's where we start to add the clouds in. We're just going to make it a little bit more darker. Okay, looks really nice. So we're just gonna see if we can add a cloud, like almost like an atmosphere real quick. So as you can see, it's all shaded in with a nice little blue color. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna see if we can make a cloud. It might, as you can see, it might get a little bit lighter. Just for you guys real quick. Okay. So we're just thinking, since we can't make it white, and I really don't want the paint to mess my drawing up, I've decided to just use my eraser right here to just erase some of the blue off, add some clouds into it. As you can see, we got one little cloud done right there. You guys can see it. In the clouds, and it is a beautiful atmosphere. Everything looks really toned. Everything looks really in depth. You know. You should probably notice. You all should probably see the clouds forming right here. You know what? Why don't we add more blue to the top real quick? We're just gonna add more blue to the top so that we can really get a really good glimpse of those clouds. You know, because it's gonna be clouds all around. You see? So we're just gonna color in. We're gonna make the top a little bit more darker. Because as you can see, we already have the clouds forming. We have one cloud right here, one cloud right here, and a couple clouds right there. So we're just going to just gonna sharpen this up a little bit. Okay, so make the pencil extra sharpened. Happens. Yep, that type of stuff happens. Sometimes it just slips on my hands. Yeah, so we're just gonna make it really. We're just gonna darken it up. So, with the blue color pencil. One of the things I love about the color pencils is that colors blend together really nice. I'm able to get exactly what I want, and it looks a lot more realistic. Because I love for my backgrounds to look more realistic while keeping the image of the silhouettes very elegant and anonymous. It was a very peaceful night tonight. Now we can have a better, clear view of the sky and where the clouds are. One of the things about guardian angels is that, they're there. We just can't see them. A lot of times they come when we really need them. Guardian angels are probably some of the best phenomenon I've read about so far. And when I read about the guardian angels, I really wanted to capture that and just draw them. Because you can't see their faces. Like, you can't see them. And I said, that's perfect for a silhouette. Because you can't see them. You can't see them, but they can see us. That reminds me of a story. This one time, I was going through a pretty difficult time, and I didn't know what to do. My grandfather, whom I call Poppy, is actually my great-grandfather, was really sick. He actually had Alzheimer's, and I really didn't know what to do because it was a lot on me because he was, basically like my father. And I was outside walking one time. I remember my Poppy, he gave me this cross necklace when I was younger, and he told me to keep it with me all the time in remembrance of him. And I remember that necklace had a little arrow on it. Well, it began to appear on it. It wasn't there before. And all I remember is going outside and just talking to the guy upstairs. And I was saying, this is a very difficult time for me, and I'm not sure what to do. So I looked at that necklace, and the arrow that was strangely forming on my necklace, the little arrow that was strangely appearing on my necklace, was pointing in a direction. I didn't know which direction it was pointing in. So what I did was I held it up in the sky, and it was pointing towards, I don't know, it was pointing towards a certain direction. And it was kind of like it's kind of a circle almost, but more like an arrow. So when I looked up at the sky, when I looked to my left, it was actually pointing at a white dove. Very, very rare. Where there's actually white doves over here in Colonial Beach. But very rare does anyone see a white dove in the sky, in the countryside like this. And it's like, wow, because that's incredible. And something told me that was my guardian angel up there, watching over me. So I knew that something greater was gonna happen in my life. So that's where I said, I'm gonna have faith always. Eventually, I lost the cross necklace. Actually, I lost the necklace, and eventually during another disturbing time in my life, in a very difficult time, I had got a new one, and it reminded me of Poppy, and I said, you know what? That's my gift from him to me, because he passed right before I was able to get the necklace again. So that's what happens, you know. And of course, dealing with, you know, my grandmother, my grandmother's passing, that also did a pretty good number on me as well. But you learn how to work through those things, and you learn how to just have faith that everything works out, and that things only get better, you know. Because one thing I've learned, that regardless of the New Year's, because it was New Year's at the time, and I was being told at times, it's a new year, just forget about it. And I said, some things just take time, you know. Just like time itself. Everything takes time. Time is what makes the world go round. If time stopped spinning, the world wouldn't be anything. But there's faith all around us, which is something that I truly believe. Because I was raised in a really good church, actually. I remember I was always going to my aunt's church. It was actually my great grandmother's mom, and I remember we have such a good time. It's like those childhood memories where you grew up, living those memories, where they're just the most beautiful memories. But I remember one thing that my grandmother always told me, and that was, no matter what you go through in your life, regardless of circumstances or how angry you feel at times, just because when things don't go your way, just always know that regardless in your tough times, you can always look towards the heavens and talk to the Almighty. That's one thing I was always raised on, and I do. I show it through my work. This is how we communicate in a way. This is a very spiritual communication. We never been like too religious though. Like, that wasn't always the case. You know, we were just, you know, just Christians, you know. So yeah, so it looks good. So we toned it enough with the blue. So we're just gonna add more clouds over here. Let's just darken that up a little bit. So this right here is telling a story of a person, a young girl who was at the lowest time in her life. She was going through a lot of stuff that was really bothering her, and she did not know what to do and how to cope with everything, you know, including just praying and just asking God for hope and belief that she could get through these times. Because a lot of times that's where your faith and your determination just all fails, and you start losing faith. And what she did was she had asked to see her guardian angel. And eventually, in a dream, after she drifted off away into dreamland, she was met with her guardian angel. And her guardian angel reached out a hand. And the girl reached out her hand as well. And right before their hands could touch, the girl saw everything. Well, things started to get blurry for a second before their hands started to touch. She could see other people behind the guardian angel. And the guardian angel was kind of like a blur as well. It was absolutely like, just like how we have in the drawing right here. Blurry. not as black toned as well, but just blurry. It's almost like a gray fog, like how a person looks in the fog and you can't really see them. Right behind the angel was more fog, people in the fog. But as soon as their hands touched, everything was revealed. And what was revealed was faith. So this isn't just a drawing. It's not just it's not just a drawing session, but this is telling a story. This is a story within artwork. My goal is to tell stories through my artwork, to touch other people, to touch their hearts in such a very aspiring, spiritual, and a very determined way. To let other people know, to take my experiences when I was going through these tough times, to take all of these experiences, all of this grief, this anger, this pain, and to just turn it into beauty, turn it into art, to inspire someone else to do the same. Because in this life, yeah, we do feel like we're alone. Don't get me wrong. We do feel like we're alone, and that we're in this fight alone. But in reality, once you finally start letting the spiritual reality step in, you finally understand that you're never alone. You have family, friends, the people in your life that love you. Your eyes begin to open to that. And then you start realizing that God also loves you as well. So we're just going to add more clouds to it. This isn't really a religious YouTube channel. Number one, because I was raised in the church and so forth, I just love putting a lot of spiritual stuff within my work. It's not necessarily religious or anything. It's just a part of who I am as a human being. It's what I was put here to do. I was raised to always help people, always love God, and to always be thankful for even just the little things in life. Just the little things in life. And to tell stories to help others. I know I don't usually show my face on my channel, but sometimes when I do, it's always good to see. But a lot of times, let me tell you, all the time, it's always good to listen. Because listening is always the best learning ground. So we're just drawing clouds, okay? I usually draw sports, like athletes doing cool stuff and stuff like that. But I love working in different avenues, motivational wise. And I love drawing silhouettes. It's my favorite, my most favorite art form ever. Because I love to tell stories, and I don't like to reveal as much. I like to let the work do the talking, the artwork do the talking, and that's what silhouettes do. Now my silhouettes are kind of different. Sometimes I will work on face details. I will add more details to the face, and I will add a lot of colors to the background. Sometimes I'll even color in the silhouettes as well. I will take a regular pencil like this and just sketch it all out first, and then shade it, and then take a Sharpie like this, line it up, and just draw within it, draw in the lines, and make it look just like a silhouette. Yes. It's all coming together. We're just gonna add more clouds right here. It's all coming together very beautifully. It's kind of late tonight, guys. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes, nighttime is always the best time to think. Everyone's asleep, got the whole house to yourself, and you're able to just relax. A lot of times that's when a lot of people are awake, especially teenagers. I remember I used to go to bed probably at like 1 or 2. I kind of still do. Shake it. Now, remember when I was talking about the angels in the background? I was telling you guys there was angels in the background. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work on the angels in the background, you guys. Because those angels, they're going to be back there. Watch. Watch this. Just sharpening my pencil, guys. Real quick. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Oops. It's all coming together, guys. Now we are definitely going to add some very spiritual words to this as well. I like to save the words for the ending. So. Oops. Okay. Alright, guys. So now we're gonna draw the angels from behind, but these angels, they're going to be shadows, right? They're going to be shadows. We're not going to reveal as much. You're just going to be like a blur, okay? Okay, here we go. And there. I need to add the wings, though. That's what I forgot. Add the wings. So as you can see, we're just adding the wings, guys. See? Look at that. You see how you see how that's all coming together like that? Just go up. See. I used to draw in a lot of details. I don't do that anymore. I don't draw in details anymore. Now I just work on little shadowy figures. These little stickman figures right here. In a very complex silhouette style. See? And you see how they're all coming together? You see how they're forming the shadow? You can see them, but they're kind of invisible a little bit. I'm just gonna draw. We're gonna draw more right here. Yeah. Maybe I should have added another wing. So what I want to do is I want to add another wing to this angel right here. So I'm just gonna take that angel out right there, and I'm just gonna add some big wings to this one. Because this angel right here, she's the main angel. She's the main angel right here. So we want to make sure her wings are very fluttery. Oh wow, that's easy to erase. Oh, you guys see that? Look, the angel just, see? Just like I told you, just faded away. That was a little magic trick. I think my arm got in the way of it. But I wish you guys could have saw that. That was pretty cool. It just faded away. See? I told you guys, sometimes magic happens. You never know. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Now, I wanted to make like a little base that the girl is standing on right there. I wanted to make it like a little white base. Like it's almost like something is lifting her up to see the angel in her dream. Wow, guys. I think we're really making progress here. We're just gonna draw a little angel in the background. Another one. And they're all wearing very beautiful robes, too. I really love that source of fashion. I love that. Yeah. Remember, you can't really see them. Like, they're gonna be a little bit invisible. They're not gonna be as polished as the main silhouettes. They're gonna be a lot more a lot more faded in there. You know. It's all going to be magic. I like the way these angels look though, because they look like the stickman figures I used to really love drawing, especially when I was younger. That's all I did. All I did was just draw stickman. All I did. Good times. Yep. Now I wanted to also draw some sunlight up there too, right up there, where you can't actually see it. Oh, okay. Just gonna draw one more right there. Okay. This is a very, very deep, very emotional art piece probably I've ever worked on so far. Well, actually, the most deepest one I've worked on was actually two of both of my grandmothers, my great grandmother and my grandmother. Very deep. I haven't done one of my mom yet. I really need to. I think I'll make her one for Mother's Day. That would be a very wonderful tribute to her. It almost looks like she's standing on a cloud almost. Yeah. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna draw a little bit of some sunlight right there, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the quote on it. We're gonna put a nice little piece of wording right there. And I think that will be it for tonight, guys. Alright, so let's get started on finishing up this piece, okay? How about we make extra light in between these two? It's like that power reaching towards them. So what we're gonna do is we're also gonna add some sunlight up here too. It's like the sunlight reflects down to them, which makes it even more powerful. You see? I think sunlight is a very powerful force as well, because it's there, you know. And it's so invisible to the point to where it's the most noticeable thing ever when you go outside. And I think that when you reflect upon that understanding that sunlight is all around us, you'll understand that joy can be found even in the most unexpected places. So as you can see, the sunlight is reflecting down onto the girl to let her know that so basically it's the angel giving joy onto the girl. So she's giving joy onto